Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the show that is cooler and fly to A1 Forever Sports. It's Chris Tip Moore here. Make sure you be generational because it's always time to be, and don't you settle for less because you can always have more with a vision. And I hope y'all ready to hang because I brought somebody who's always ready to bang. You know what I'm saying? My man from Atlanta Bird Game, Mr. Tidy Jones. Smitty, he is going to be on the way. He's going to pop in a few minutes here. But Tidy, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Tip, I'm fantastic, bro. Can't complain. And if I did complain, I'd be BSing. How you feeling today, man?
Hey, man, every day is a great day. Depends on how you looking at it, man. You know, not sure how we should be looking at what's going on with this quarterback carousel that we supposedly had not been having. But you guys already know, man, Desmond Ritter, he gets benched again. It's so crazy because I was thinking that he would at least finish the season out so it could give him a chance to really just audition for the Atlanta Falcons or to at least get some good film on tape or at least decent film on tape to be able to go out into the league as a backup. I don't want to necessarily say a starter because I don't know where he's to be starting at. But instead, he won't get that opportunity. He has been benched yet again. So, guys, and welcome to the platform and to the stage, Smooth Smitty Sports Machine.
What's going up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Doing good, man. Doing great.
Trying to figure out what's going on with our franchise, man. We back on this musical chairs again, y'all. Why we doing this?
Hard times, man. Hard time call for drastic measures. Just trying to make a change. That's all.
Indeed. So, like, okay, just talking about our former starting quarterback right now, just in 2023, we're talking about Desmond Ritter having a 63.3 completion percentage, over 2,500 yards, 25-28 to be exact, 7.1 average on the passes, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Woo, boy, that does not get it done in the league, y'all. That does not. Also 31 sacks overall in his career. He's been sacked 40 times. QBR this year, 38.3. And not to mention, he's also fumbled 5 times. So coming into this before the news broke this morning, I had a question for you guys. I was wanting to know, can you guys build off of that? Would have been comfortable or complacent enough to just be like, all right, man, he's young. He's going to make rookie mistakes, even though he's not a rookie. He's going to make those mistakes. We got to try to ride it out and ride with him. But that's a lot to ride with, all those turnovers and interceptions. We're talking about 15 turnovers with interceptions and fumbles. So I just think Atlanta, like you just said, Smitty, desperate times call for desperate measures. They didn't want to do this quarterback carousel, but at this point, Arthur Smith's job is so far on the line right now. Every single day, Falcons faithful are calling for his head. Every single day. It's gotten to the point, guys, to where you see a post game or you see just some kind of press conference with Arthur Smith. And let's just be honest, we're all rolling our eyes, right? We're all rolling our eyes. We don't heard it before. Heard it all before, like my girl Sunshine used to say. And it's just like, come on now. We've been sold on something that just didn't come to fruition, y'all.
Facts. And to be honest, man, when you sold on something, it's just like selling somebody a bad product at the store and they get home and it's no good. But I think what hurts the fans so bad is we've been seeing this same story now for the last 7 years. And it's just time for Arthur Blank to open his eyes, to go out, get a veteran coach, and not a coach that's in his first go round. You need a veteran coach with a lot of these young players. We do have veterans on the team, but a lot of the key players are young now, and Grady Jarrett is going to be coming back from a knee injury next year, and we don't know what his future holds. So it's just time to get a veteran guy at the head coaching position and one that can lead men and fire up the troops, because as I've told y'all, man, before, have you ever seen Arthur Smith? Have you ever seen him amp up the team? Have you ever seen him live during the game? No, he just stands there like a statue and calls the game, and that's it. He doesn't have no inclusion with the players at all, and you got to change that. So,
What are your thoughts,
I
Ryder,
just
on that question right there?
Two things. Finishing off what Smitty was saying, I really think that Arthur Smith lacks real, true people skills, and I think that's why you don't see him conversing with the players, and even when he have his press conferences, he seems just so uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that you got to be the most personable person in the world to be an NFL coach, but hey, you're gonna have to have some type of people skills. Everybody's not gonna be lucky like Bill Belichick. And to answer your original question, Tip, if he wouldn't have got benched, based on what I have seen in this however many games that he's played thus far, I think what about 15, 16 now.
Yeah,
I would not have been comfortable with him going into next year. I just truly haven't seen enough to make me comfortable with, okay, this is my guy going into the next season. Not at all, especially being a starter. I would have felt like it would have been another mistake. I felt like going into this season with him being a starter was going to be a critical mistake. And at this point, I feel like we've essentially wasted a season. And it's sad to say, maybe we do win these next 3 games and the cards fall in our favor and we find some way to get in the playoffs, but that's very much not likely. So no, I would not have been comfortable at all with Desmond Ridder going into next season. Now, am I saying that he's like a trash quarterback, garbage? Now, I'm not even taking it that far. I just feel like he is where we drafted him, man. He's a 3rd-round quarterback. Those are developmental guys. Those are backup guys. And, maybe year 5, year 6, year 7, he finds his mojo and can become a proficient starter. And I think that's how we should have really approached the kid.
Right. I understand, man, because let's just be honest. We were kind of, some of us, already seeing the writing on the wall. He's a 3rd-round quarterback. But for the people who are fans and want to try to support, and I'm one of them, just trying to see if he can be an exception. Because we have Russell Wilson, who's an exception. We have Dak. I mean, however you feel about him, he's still an exception. He's a starting quarterback. He gonna get paid, possibly may get paid again. We'll see how Dallas handles that. But I think we was hoping that Desmond could be an exception, just like those quarterbacks. And he's been everything except that. No matter how you try to defend him, every week he comes back with the same mistakes, staring down the front side. Is being totally clueless on the backside, rolling out of the pocket, getting in a little trouble, making too many mistakes outside the pocket. Yeah, he has a strong arm and everything, but what? So did Jeff George. So I'm just saying. So did Jeff George. And the Falcons spent $190 million this spring upgrading every part of the roster except what? QB. And we didn't even have a quarterback competition. I know some of the listeners and viewers, they have heard that all week, all year, but it's the truth, y'all. We had no competition. Arthur Smith, he had his complex and just wanted to be right with everything. And like we was talking about the other night, it's almost like he has this look at me presence about himself.
Yeah.
He has that about himself. Yeah. And it's just not helping the team. And going back to your point again, Smitty, because I want to circle back on that. The most that I've really seen him just really hyping up the team is mostly the offensive line, just because he used to be that. And I see that he rally up the offensive line, and he may like tap somebody on the head with a little chart, like looking at it like a menu. So that's about it. The only thing I really seen. You never really just seen like him just super excited for something that was done on defense or offense. At least I haven't. I'm not gonna say that it's not out there. Maybe it's video. Who knows? But I just haven't seen that, and it seems like you guys haven't either.
Right.
Facts. And like I said, man, it's not all Desmond's fault because, as I've said repeatedly, he has to be coached the right way. And to be honest, who is actually teaching him? Because Dave Ragone, what has he taught anybody in the league? You look at TJ Yates, the wide receiver coach. If you don't see them doing their job, you should pull him to the side. You should talk to him as well. So, I mean, it's just a coaching issue. I mean, there's no way around it from Desmond Ridder all the way down to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, it's a coaching issue. Because we have way too many weapons for these guys not to be getting the football, for this team not to be scoring points. It's just no way around that. So I think Desmond really is auditioning. And to be honest, man, if he gets around the coach with the right mentality, like a Matt LaFleur or a Kyle Shanahan or Ben Johnson, they could probably unlock his talents. And then the Falcons would probably be kicking themselves and saying, man, we probably should have moved on from Arthur a little bit quicker. Because I said it last year, and anybody that's been following me, I knew he reached this season last year because the team, to be honest, at the start of this season, they started off 2-0, but those 2 wins, to me, they were fraudulent. And I called it. Yeah, I called it. And I said, you look at what Desmond did the 4 games last year, and you really look into the film, those numbers were deceiving because a lot of dropped interceptions, still bad pass. He still fumbled the ball, and he brought it into this year, and they did not work on it. So what you see is what you get with him right now with Atlanta. But I guarantee you, if he gets a decent enough offensive coordinator or quarterback coach to show him the ropes and help him read film and work on his mechanics and things of that nature, I think he'll be fine. But he will be a backup.
Indeed. It's another question here too, man. Is Coach gone if Heineke loses on Sunday? Me personally, I say no. But what you guys say?
If we lose on Sunday, if Coach
to the coach
gone the final, at this point they're gonna ride Arthur Smith out to the end of the year. There's really nothing to gain by firing him with 2 or 3 games left, because you're not gonna get a sample size of whoever your interim coach is. And now it's not even worth the disarray that it's going to cause offensively with the play calling. So if we go, I look at it like this: it's almost a win-win. If Heineke comes in and we start winning, we find a way to get in the playoffs. Bam, good news. If we bomb out, we lose the rest of these games. Coach Smith will be gone on Black Monday, and we got a better draft selection. So it's a win-win either way, and I think that's how Arthur Blank looking at it. Right.
Yeah, man. Speaking of Mr. Blank, it seems like he's always held on to a coach, a player. I don't know, man, a bottle of water too long sometimes. He just when he knows he should cut his losses. And I'm trying to tell you, dog. So I'll just say, like, when he should just go ahead and cut his losses. I feel like Dan Quinn stayed a little bit too long. I feel like Mike Smith did too, and I understand about giving chances, but himself, he knows that he doesn't have too much, it's like too much time to be wasting as far as this franchise go. They got to make something happen. Mr. Blank is getting up there, and we have to realize that he wants to see a Super Bowl being hoisted. And shoot, you ain't by yourself, Mr. Blank. But in order for that to happen, we got to make the best moves. And sometimes the personal, that's why they say you don't mix business with pleasure sometimes, because most people don't know how to handle it. And this is definitely a personal thing, just because you already know the relationship between Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith's father. That's always going to play a major role. I believe maybe it's a chance that maybe he may have been on a hotter seat if he didn't have that relationship. But it's all about who you know. You already know that out here nowadays anyway. It's all about who you know. And we know that's how he got the job too. Let me go and put that out there as well. So, yeah, guys. So, question, man. And I know Miss Lisa, shout out to you as well. She already had voiced her opinion. 2 QB or not QB in this draft or in the offseason, man. Like, where we go from here? Are we bringing in a rookie really with the possibility of this coach? I don't think we should do that. I think it should be a veteran if you're going to bring in anybody. But I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts, and definitely the floor is yours.
Oh, that's a great question. Go ahead, Titan. Go ahead.
For me, my opinion is I really think at this point in time, you got to go draft a quarterback in the first round. You absolutely got to, unless something just falls in your lap. Yeah, unless the Bears decide they're gonna give Justin Fields away, which they're not gonna do. You saw what Sam Darnold drew, and Justin Fields is probably gonna draw a little bit more in that. But at this point, I feel like you got to go. You got to go draft your quarterback. Your last 2 first-round picks, who you wanted as your franchise picks, Atlanta, and you did good on those. The Michael Vick show didn't end it like we wanted it to, but you saw what potentially could have happened if he didn't do idiot young man things. Matt Ryan, he took it to another level. So you have been progressing with your first round quarterback picks. You got to the Super Bowl with Matt. He gave you 14 of the best years you've seen in your career. So I think at this point, you done built the team. You're still going to have a lot of cap space because you don't have a franchise quarterback on the roster, franchise quarterback contract on the roster. So you're still going to have a whole lot of cap space until you get that on the roster. So you built your team up. You went and got your Kyle Pitts. You went and got your Bijan. You went and got Drake London. You went and got some guys on defense. Jesse Bates, Nate Lamon looks like he's gonna be good. So okay, you built the team up.
To extend Nate.
You got this still, Nate. So at this point, in my opinion, hey man, it's time to draft that quarterback. If you got to move up in the draft to do it, so be it.
But okay, who would that quarterback be? Well, Smith, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get your point out as well. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I definitely agree with what Tidy said. I just don't see Arthur Smith going past this year. And I think it's going to be a new coach next year. So you could start fresh with a rookie. But I think the quick fix would probably bring in a veteran. Who that is, I don't know. But if you bring in an offensive-minded guy, whether it's as a head coach or as an offensive coordinator, you go with a veteran and one of the young guys, preferably. Like you said, they're not just going to let Justin Fields go. He's going to go for a high number. Kyler Murray would be another guy. I've talked about him because I feel like all the weapons that we have and a guy with a rocket arm like that can get them the football and a creative play caller, I think that would be a match made in heaven. But in this draft, if we lose these 3 games, I think we end up in the top 8 again. You got to swing for the fences, and I've said that before too. You got to swing for the fences, move all the way up to number 1. Don't matter what it takes to go get him. But Drake May, to me, is the prototypical quarterback that the Falcons need. Strong arm, decent legs, can read defenses. And Caleb Williams is not, to me, he just doesn't have that NFL mindset. And what I mean by that, he doesn't show up in big games. And I think if Drake May was on a better Power 5 school, he probably could lead someone to a national championship. But Drake May, moving up the board to get Drake May, I think is the move. And if you have to include one of your key players like a Kyle Pitts, you got to do it because you got to turn this team around. And if you don't go quarterback in this draft at the top, I don't think Jaden Daniels will make it past number 15. If he goes up the board getting closer to the draft, because I actually think Caleb Williams is going to fall a little bit. But I like Jaden Daniels or Drake May, but Drake May is personally my pick. But move up the board if you're in the top 8 and just take a chance like you did with Julio. You end up getting a Hall of Fame player. Yeah. So you got to make that same type of Hall of Fame move. And that's how they have to be thinking from this point on.
Hey, man, no risk, no reward, right? And I ain't going to lie to you. People can say what they want about Thomas Dimitroff, but that was the best move, one of the best moves that he did, just to have the gall to move up to go get Julio, who definitely took care of business here as an Atlanta Falcon. So, man, yeah, definitely. As far as me for the draft, man, I just really hate that we're talking about this. I really did not want to go here. I really wanted to possibly use that first round pick to go get something on the defensive side to continue improving this defense, something that we just hadn't had in so long. It's almost like the defense for the Atlanta Falcons is almost like, going to the candy store and seeing all your favorite stuff that you ain't seen in so long, and you just want, so you just want to have it. And the fact that we have a defense now, we cannot miss this window, y'all. We're missing a window. All the thing we need is competent quarterback, but actually more than competent. because of the play calling. It kind of got to be elite quarterback play just because of who our play caller is. So, and we just don't have that. We don't have elite play calling. We don't have situational play calling. Consistent. We've seen things, but it's not consistent. Not consistent at all. Yeah, people call Arthur Smith an offensive genius and guru, but I haven't seen anything special since he got here. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I totally feel the same way. Like, what have you really done, guys? What have you really done?
And I'm gonna make a point right quick, and this is why this is the perfect draft to go after a quarterback. The edge rushers in this draft is not strong like it's been in the past. After Jerry Verse and Dallas Turner, it's a big drop off after that. But a guy from UCLA, I think he'll be a first round pick, but I think he may be in the 20s. But after those two guys, it's a big drop off of the edge. So if edge is one of your most needed positions, that's not there, just go get a quarterback. And you can get an edge maybe later in the draft, someone that can come in and fill a spot. But as far as elite pass rushers, I don't think it's many in this upcoming draft, but there are quarterbacks that can come in and change this team around with the right coach.
Definitely. Thank you, Greg. GQB Custom Kicks for the super chat. We were spoiled as Falcons fans continuously making the playoffs. This 5-year drought of barely making the playoffs is something we just aren't used to. And the present product ain't helping matters any. That's absolutely correct.
Hold on. You can't speak for everybody because I'm 44 years old. Trust me, I've seen worse.
You say you've seen worse.
If you grew up when I grew up, trust me, you've seen worse.
Indeed.
So I'm not spoiled at all. It's just that I'm tired of losing. I'm ready to win a ring. If we win one ring, I will get a Falcons to pass until I leave this earth.
I'm about to
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Just
I feel like
we
all can agree on that, man. It's like you just get because, like, okay, perfect example. When the Dogs won in 21, shoot, even the Braves, it's just like, all right, we got one. Shoot, I'm cool now. Shoot, y'all all right, and everything. Then we go back to back. It's like, shh. But honestly, I don't think no one is really. I think we're upset with how Georgia was done, and like whether we were treated fairly or not. But I don't think no one is mad that we're not getting a natty because, man, we got back to back.
Right, and that's what winning does. I mean, it puts you in a place where you don't have to demand it every single year. You're like, okay, I was blessed to live and probably around the prime of my life to see back-to-back national championships, and I appreciate that. So that's what winning does. Same thing for the Braves, man. They done gave us two, and now you just wait on these Falcons to get right. I remember going to the Braves parade. I went to the Cobb County side, y'all, just so you know. But I remember going to the Braves parade, and everybody was happy, of course, that the Braves won. But there was one common theme that everybody kept saying that I interacted with. Hey, dog, imagine if you see all these people here. Just imagine what happens when the Falcons win the Super Bowl. Bro. That was like the underlying talking point between us fans as we were celebrating the Braves at the parade.
You're going to have to stop traffic, boy. You ain't going to be that thing going to look like Freak Meat.
Right.
Right. I'm just being honest, boy. The Falcons winning a championship after being so close twice, man. It's like people, even if people are Falcon fans, and that's one of them things where you got to take the trip. You just got to go ahead and pay the money and take the trip. Like, you got to be a part of that. It's talking about you too, Berto. You would have to come on down here.
Right.
You have to come on down here, man. But yeah, that's something that we want to see before we all get up out of here.
And the best way to get that Super Bowl is put the right coach in the right situation. And that's why I said they need a coach probably with championship experience, someone that knows how to get there, bring you in a veteran with championship experience. But there's ways to build a team and sustain success. Because the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017 and tore the team down the next year and started rebuilding again, and now they're back to a championship caliber team. So you got to constantly keep adding pieces to build a Super Bowl team. And when they went out and got all championship type players from Georgia, that just let me know that something going on in that front office that they don't like about Georgia players, because you had a chance to get Jordan Davis, you had a chance to get Jalen Carter, you had a chance to get Tari Gurley back in the day before you got Vic Beasley. So
Hey, want to keep it
just
real.
just homegrown talent, man. Homegrown talent. That's
What
all
it
I'm saying.
is, they know them boys in Athens, especially since Kirby done got there. They got a little more thug in them than
Mhm.
the Mark Rick dogs do. And you know the Falcons filter, you know you ain't gonna always pass that Falcons filter. And I you know what, I'm gonna say something that just popped in my head. We might can blame Prince Shimbo for us not getting Jalen Carter. That just popped in my head. Y'all remember old Shimbo came here and he got in some trouble after checkered pass. Y'all remember that?
Oh man, that's quite
Y'all
some
remember
time.
Prince Shimbo getting in trouble?
He got in
went through
trouble by kicking that dog.
about kicking the dog. We had the dogs again. The dogs popped up again in Atlanta. And, you know, that might have been enough for Blank. And Makeda said, nah, we ain't mess with these. Nobody with these checker pads. Let's go ahead and get this Bijan Robinson out of Texas, man. You know, so we might could blame old Prince Shimbo for that.
Man, listen. Prince Shimbo, I think Jalen Carter is a different animal, man. You could have definitely had him coming in and helping this defense. And I don't think you would have went wrong by getting him. But it is what it is. Bijan is here, and I'm happy that he's here. You know, I just want him to hold on to that ball a little bit better in crucial situations. But I'm happy that the man is here. I will say that. But something that came to my mind just now is Richard McKay, man. Him, Terry Fontenot, you know, all those guys, man, up in the front office. What are they doing, man? What are we really doing? Like seriously, because these guys, especially Richard McKay, like he's in one position, but still trying to play another, you know, and he's not doing us any favors. He's the last line of defense as far as like making a move, you know. So it's like, okay, if he don't sign off on it at the final say so, it doesn't happen. So you got to take blame definitely as well. You got to take a lot of blame. And then Terry, I kind of feel like Terry is just a front man. I think he's just a face. I don't even think he really has a whole lot of power. I think he kind of just in there just like whatever. That's my personal opinion.
I've been talking about this lately on my show as far as Terry go. I'm really going to hope and I'm going to give Terry some faith that he's just not like a face. You know, I would hope he's not in a position where, you know, he's just stuck being a face as quote unquote general manager, because he came here, you know, with a lot of experience at New Orleans. I think he's been in that franchise since he was like probably an intern in college, maybe 19 and 20 years old.
He did.
So I'm going to hope he has more to say than just, okay, I'm just going to work the salary cap. Because I honestly, the reason I say that for a few reasons. Another reason I say that because I don't think he would have took the job if that was the case. Because he was in line to take Mickey Loomis' job. He was going to really be the man, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So for him to leave New Orleans in 20 years of hating Atlanta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hating Atlanta, that was in his blood. I don't feel like he would take a job to come to Atlanta if he knows you just a front man, you just a face, you know.
I like that point that you said though. If he knows, what if when the ink dried, something totally different happened?
And that's what happened because as I said last night, they brought in an assistant general manager, what they did not need. You got trust in the guy. Yeah, they got trust in the guy that they brought in to make the right moves. And think about it, he brought in a Hall of Fame quarterback who had a busted shoulder when he got there. And he recovered, and they built around him, and the Saints were fine. They won a Super Bowl. So what else do you need to see? And what I think what irritates me the most, and I've been saying this for a while too, Rich McKay built a championship team in Tampa Bay with all kind of dogs on it. In 1995, I think it was, or 96, you draft Derrick Brooks and Warren Sapp in the same draft. So you mean to tell me you know guys like that who have that type mentality? Don't you think you need it on any other team that you put together? It just makes sense. You just have to have those type players with their screws loose a little bit. I mean, it's just normal. They the one keep the team hyped up. They the one go out every Sunday head first. knocking heads off. You need those kind of players. And I haven't seen a player like that in Atlanta in God knows how long on defense. Probably John Abraham.
Right.
So
and I don't think
you got to change the way you think. And I know problems, you don't want to deal with the problems, but sometimes problems come up and that's just life.
that's
You
just
deal
like
with it and you move on. Yeah. So So
it
if
was
you
just
built a
so crazy,
championship team one time, do it again. The same way.
Right. And it was just so crazy again, man, just because I really don't believe that Terry would have picked Arthur, y'all. Like, if he was able to have that say so, I do not see Arthur Smith as the head coach. No, I don't. I really don't. I mean, if you guys feel any differently, please, the floor is yours. But I really just feel like that was already, backwards anyway.
I agree about it being a backward situation when the head coach comes before the GM. But I'm also gonna say, if you look at Arthur Blake's track record, he don't let general managers hire his head coaches. That's what he do. He's been doing that since he got in Atlanta. Dimitrov didn't hire Quinn. Dimitrov did not hire Mike Smith. Richmond K didn't hire Jim Moore Jr. That's just always how Blake has been. Now, he might listen to you a little bit, he might give you an opportunity to send him a few texts and have a meeting or two about him. But I firmly believe Arthur Blank, for the most part, man, he's going to hire who he want to hire. And he's going to expect his GM and head coach, hey, y'all got to work together as a unit.
Work it out. Yeah, because I like this guy. Yeah, I can definitely see that too, man. But that could be a problem.
Why have that attitude? Why have that attitude, though? Why have that attitude of we gonna put these two together because this is who I want? Let the man do his job. Go out and get a guy he's comfortable with, who he can build a team with. So if he can go out and find a guy that he can build a team with, I mean, we have no problem. Then if they fail, then it's on the GM.
There you go.
If you putting the groceries together and expect somebody to cook what you want, it's not gonna taste right. Because guess what? Some ingredients gonna be missing.
Yeah.
And if ingredients missing, bad food, sour stomach, and we poop it out and start over again.
Yeah. And I feel like we've been pooping for years, man.
Yeah.
For real.
I agree with both of y'all, and that could be why we keep going in this circle. That could be
saying, man. Creatures of habit. That's just like we saying about running the ball. The next thing you know, Ritter throws it 40 times. You just want to do what you want to do.
Right.
It's just you don't have any discipline. And it's a possibility that Arthur Blank, as far as when it comes to picking these GMs and everything, he may be getting in his own way just because every time it's always something. Maybe you should give one GM a chance to get, it's like Smitty just said, choose their own guy. What could hurt? Don't be like Jerry Jones and get in your own way. I know y'all friends and all, but come on.
Yeah. They call Blank the Jerry Jones of the Southeast.
They really do. Especially after he had got that new stadium. I heard it all the time. Like, oh boy, yeah, you just trying to catch up.
And I want to say something also, Smitty. You just said a moment ago about hiring a experienced head coach, right? I'm gonna ask y'all this: since Arthur Blank bought the team in the early 2000s, I think it was officially, even though the deal was done a few years before that. But anyway, my question is, how many experienced head coaches has he hired, and also how many experienced? No, exactly, not one.
No.
The only one he had. The only one he had, he got rid of Dan Reeves.
Right. And he didn't hire him either.
He didn't hire him though.
If you get Dan Reeves one more year, I think the Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, man. That's another thing. I'm glad you said that too, Ty, because he definitely did not hire Dan Reeves. And every coach that he has hired has been like new guy. Can we get away from the new guys?
Right.
Possibly.
Right.
I know, you got a lot of dudes out there, but can we get away from the new guys? And honestly, the cut and dry decision as far as to get rid of Arthur Smith should be apparent. Look at the league. Look at how many teams right now are functioning with backup quarterbacks.
Yeah,
running the system. I really got to give a shout out to Cincinnati and what they've been doing without Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor deserves all the credit in the world because he has a backup. a journeyman
It goes
backup at that.
it goes back to coaching, man. You talking, you preaching, but it goes back to coaching. Because in Tampa
Right.
Bay, they won the Super Bowl with a washed up Brad Johnson.
Brad
That
Johnson.
make sense.
That defense was just unbelievable. And then on top of that, they did have a little inside scoop with Gruden too. Let's not forget about that. Because, but yeah, man. Yeah. That's tough. That's tough, man. And then just with this whole loss to Carolina recently, you lost 2 in the division, and you made it tough on yourself, man. Like, how confident are you guys coming into this Sunday against the Colts? Like, how do you guys feel? Because I'm uneasy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm uneasy. It's a possibility Jonathan Taylor is coming back, and Zach Moss hasn't been a slouch in this season as well. He actually kind of rejuvenated himself being in that offense. Right. So you have 2 backs right there, capable backs. Not sure what's the status on Pittman and if he'll be playing after that hit. And,
I don't think he's gonna play.
Yeah, so and then we got Gardner Minshew. So another backup, another backup. It's just like
that's the crazy thing, man. We've been playing backup after backup after backup.
And Ricky after Ricky after Ricky.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. We should only have like 2 or 3 losses at the max right now. We should have took an advantage of this schedule, the easiest schedule in the world. In the world, Craig. We had, my goodness, and we did not take advantage of it. Bad quarterback play, situational play calling. The only thing that we can hang our hat on week in and week out is that defense that is top 10 in just about everything. So,
but the crazy part is, I think Arthur Smith will be a better coordinator than head coach because he just can't lead people, man. If you look at Tennessee, he was up under Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel led that team, and he led the team, and Arthur Smith just called plays. And he had Derrick Henry, and that's the end of the story, man. He tried to build that same thing in Atlanta with Cordero Patterson, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier. Build his team around the run. But in the NFL, you have to be able to put points on the board. You have to be able to play from behind when you're down. And this team is, like I said, it's just built to get out in front, kill clock, run the football. But if you get behind the 8 ball, ain't no telling what's going to happen. So you got to bring in an offensive mind that can do all that. Come from behind when they need to, start out fast, and lead the team. That's what you need.
And it's crazy too, man, because we got all these running backs and all this rushing ability. But, man, we decided to pass a little bit more. I mean, we're still eighth in rushing and everything, so that's still top 10. But you got to think about it. That's still 5 slots dropped off from last year.
But where are we? Where are we at points per game?
Points per game.
Bottom 20s.
Yeah, we're in the bottom 20s because we only get 18.
24, 25.
18.4 points a game. That is 26th in the league. Yards, we are 19th. We see points per play, we are 27th. Yards per pass play, we're 22nd. Third down conversions, 13th. Fourth down conversions, 26th. Red zone touchdowns, 19th. And touchdowns per game, 26.
Hold on. Go back to red zone.
Red zone touchdown. Yeah, we are 19th at 52.50%.
And we have 3 elite weapons on offense, and we 19th.
We 19th, y'all. 19th.
You give Patrick Mahomes these type players, nobody's stopping Kansas City. I don't care who you are.
And after the Monday Night Football, we were number 8th, because I remember seeing this. We were number 8th in rushing yards per game at 126.4. We are now 9th at 126.4. So I mean, still,
and that's still not bad.
Yeah, that's still not bad. Still not bad.
Right, and that's really the rushing team stat is the yards per game, because everybody's gonna end up playing 17 games. So that's really where we're at, number 9 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts, man. That's facts. But we should. I still believe
these
better.
These next 3 games, do y'all feel like the team will rally just just to let people know that they still trying to play. Because I'm pretty much telling y'all, they not playing for Arthur Smith no more. They playing for pride at this point.
Right. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So do y'all? What do y'all think how they gonna come out the next 3 games?
I honestly don't know, man. The Falcons are just so bipolar.
Man, that's a good word.
It's hard to gauge how they gonna react. They may play for pride and play for themselves and show like, look, we ain't gonna lay down, and then at the same time, they may feel like, hey, man, the season is almost at a loss. I really don't know. You just never know with this thing. You don't never know. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Shoot, for me, I feel like we're coming into the climax, man. We're coming into the climax. We're gonna see if the team quits on Arthur Smith. Well, I mean, we're gonna definitely see it. We know that the fans have quit on Arthur Smith, and hey, that's warranted. But as far as the team,
Well, I quit on Arthur Smith last year. I'm gonna be honest.
You're right, right. And the thing about it is,
Tight will tell you. I said it last year. I don't see it. I don't see his ceiling going no higher.
Yeah. Right. And I can definitely feel that, man, because I definitely feel like he's reached his ceiling as well. I mean, come on, man. It's a possibility we may be 7-10, 3 straight seasons. Do you know how tough that is to do? I'm just saying. Do you know how tough it is to have the same exact record no matter what in this league?
3 straight years.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we're 6-8 right now. We were 6-8 coming into our final 3 games his first year. Okay, we give you that pass. We didn't have nothing. But then you were 5-9 the next year. Okay, still in cap hell. $190 million to improve the team. You didn't improve the quarterback. You didn't have a competition, because I said this a couple of days ago in the post game. If you possibly had a competition in training camp, you may have seen that, hey, Heineke and Ritter are not the guy. So when that trade deadline come around, it's a possibility you in the market for a quarterback because you see what you had.
Yeah, good point.
You didn't even see what you had. So then you handcuffed yourself, and you still didn't get Montez Sweat, and you didn't take that same pick and try to get a Chase Young. You didn't do nothing. You didn't even go get Tart. I think Texas just picked him up. So I mean, you didn't even try to even make a claim, because I seen the teams that made a claim. The Falcons were not on that list.
Yeah, and you think about it, man. We the last 3 years the game we won in the trenches, and this year the offensive line looks like a shell of last year. Matt Bergeron is a rookie. He's played above expectation. But you look at Drew Dahlman, he hadn't played well before he got hurt. But you come in, bring in Ryan Nuzell, he brings a totally new look to the offensive line. You know why? They had Elijah Wilkinson there last year at left guard. You should have just signed another veteran on that offensive line and kept things going, because if you put a rookie inside a rookie, and it's not against Matthew Bergeron, but if you insert a rookie with a lot of veterans on the offensive line, you got to get that guy time to catch up. So why not go get a veteran and keep the train rolling? And Bergeron, he plays, but I think he plays more at right tackle than he does at left guard. So you probably should have just went out and got a guard or center. Get Bergeron and keep things rolling, because Caleb McGarry, man, he's fool's gold. I mean, he played well last year in the run game, but when it comes to pass blocking, my God. Yeah,
it's rough on the fella, awful, man. Them feet don't move quick enough. Like, he don't do them feet drills, man. Or something. He don't do it,
man. You pull hot grits at his feet, he probably couldn't even move around.
Man, what? Going feet just sink right into it, right? That's absolutely terrible.
He just has burnt ankles. That's what I'm trying to say.
But okay, let me paint a scenario for you guys, just to throw something out there, and for the people in the chat and listening too. Okay, say that we have a top 10 draft pick. Let's say we're picking 10th overall. Do you really want to take that first round pick and go spend it on a rookie quarterback, especially if Arthur Smith is still head coaching this team? Because I don't feel like he has enough humility to drop down to just an offensive coordinator position at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
I really don't.
he ain't got to work. He ain't got to work.
Right.
His dad a billionaire. He ain't got to work.
And let's see what we got here, man. Rusty, what you mean, man? Who is this y'all? Who is this y'all you talking about?
What's up, Rusty?
Yeah, man. What's going on, man?
That got to be a joke.
Yeah, Rusty just using sarcasm.
I'm trying to tell you because and it's funny because Tidy just had something a couple of weeks back talking about stuff like this, about how we fake fans to a team that's been underachieving. Like, how does that even make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How does that even make sense? We're criticizing a team that's not, achieving the expectations, especially the things that they were feeding us in the beginning. So,
I got to give Tidy his credit, man, because he did his research last year.
And, about CJ?
Yeah, he said it.
Oh, yeah.
He said what the Falcons need to do. Just damn go for it. Just like I just said. About going up the board. He said they should have did it last year. He was absolutely correct. Because what they should have done, started really last year, see what he got coming to this offseason. And you know what you got, then you go in the draft and you move up the board and get the quarterback you need. But now since you didn't do that, you possibly set the team back about 3 years, depending on who they bring in. So I got to give you a shout out to that, man, because we in the same position we was in last year. So just like you said last year, we got to do that this year.
Right.
No way around it.
Yeah, got to do it
They don't
this year.
do it this year. They don't do it this year. I don't even know where this team is headed after that.
Yeah. If we don't do it this year, we forever just going to be stuck in the mud, man.
Just spinning our wheels, right, Tidy?
Yep.
Spinning our wheels. Man, but the thing about it is, it's just, for me, man, I think I'm just questioning the front office more than anything else. The front, as far as when it comes to the draft, I think I'm just questioning them. Like, how many times have we really had hits, as far as in the draft, man? We ain't had now, I do like Drake London. I will say Drake London. Yeah, at first I was out on him. I wanted Garrett Wilson, but Drake London has shown that he's number one. And I'm very proud to see that. And I believe once he gets a quarterback that can get him the ball properly, man, we're going to see days like 10 catches, 172 yards often because he's just being a big body. Kyle Pitts, I feel like we should free Kyle Pitts just because he looks so expendable. He looks so expendable, family. I'm just saying, we got McCole. I'm just saying, we got Jonnu catching passes and having the wheels, man, going for 58 yards. I'm sorry. Kyle Pitts looks expendable. You still got Parker. You still got John Fitzpatrick. We really are a team that has 5 or 6 tight ends. And then you got people talking about, we should get Brock Bowers. Y'all want another tight end.
Ain't learned from your first mistake.
Dog.
For real.
Marco Pruitt got more touchdown reception than Kyle Pitts.
Exactly.
Just think about that.
I want to keep it real too, Smitty. You were calling me crazy at the beginning of the season now about them numbers about Kyle Pitts. I said, no more than 738 yards receiving for Kyle Pitts. And boy, when I say he's on track for that this year, being underutilized.
And the crazy part is, it seemed like the Falcons just never got the right mix of things at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
When we drafted Mike Vick did not have a weapon outside of a running back.
Right.
When we had Matt Ryan in that top 10 offense with Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez, and Michael Turner.
Right, man.
After John Abraham left, no defense.
The best offense I believe that we had. But all those things,
arguably, easily. Arguably. So it's just time to put together a complete team, man. That's why I said you have to hit on this head coach. If you don't, you're gonna be on wasted B. John, you're gonna be on wasted Kyle, and you're gonna be on wasted Drake London.
Right.
And possibly Jesse Bates. Because Jesse Bates has came in and made a hell of a difference on this defense. So why waste that time? So you go out and get somebody that you know can drive a damn team down the field, because Arthur Smith has ran his offense in the ground, not on the ground, in the ground. So,
And I want to shout
Jesse-
out Jesse Bates too, man. Shout out to Jesse, just being Jesse, man. He is the third player in the NFL as well to record at least 100 tackles, 5 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles in a season since when? The 1999-2000. You did. So I'm just saying that's a special player worth every penny. I know we had questions. I know we was trying to figure out if it was the scheme or was it just Jesse Bates really good. Jesse Bates is really good.
Very good. Very smart safety too.
Yes, he'll bait you.
That's the smartest pickup they've had, and God knows how long.
Shoot, man, since Alex Mack, since John Abraham,
since Alex Mack.
Alex Mack, yeah, I agree with that.
It's just it was easy, man. It was so good that they brought him in, and we just got to continue to make moves, y'all. That's what it is. We got to continue to make moves because I'm sorry, guys. I'm just tired of this. No playoffs. I'm tired of watching other people franchises or finding something to do because no Falcon football is on. Because, I mean, I really don't care about watching other teams. Seriously. I mean, I'll do it professionally just because I'm in sports. But personally, if the Falcons ain't playing, shoot, boy, what is yard work talking about? I'm just saying, like, seriously. And I'm tired of not going to the playoffs, not having something to be excited for. But honestly, with this team, even when we do make the playoffs and have that home game, yeah, we'll be excited, but a lot of us wouldn't even be confident no matter who we play. We could draw Dallas.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who we draw. We're not going to feel comfortable about whoever's coming into the dome.
Right.
But we know that they're going to feel comfortable because they like, well, first and foremost, we have a quarterback no matter who we play. Detroit has a quarterback. I mean, Dallas has Dak. I mean, it's still better than what we have. Shoot, 49ers got Brock, who is another exception, by the way. Another exception is Brock Purdy. And he's perfect in that system right now. I still feel like nobody ran it better than Matt Ryan, but Brock Purdy is a close second, like seriously. So, but he's another exception.
But when you got the right coach, just look at Zach Taylor in Cincinnati.
Exactly.
Zach Taylor in Cincinnati is damn winning games with a damn journeyman quarterback that's been around 6 years.
I'm talking. I think Holmes worked for DoorDash a couple years ago. Like seriously,
right? And he had back-to-back 300-yard games, and they won both games. So it just lets you know it's just coaching, man. That's the bottom line. There's no way around it. So I mean, veteran bust to me.
And then y'all, we wait again. Going back real quick, we wasting this defense, man. Calais Campbell, man. 103.
I don't think he'll be back.
I don't think he'll be back.
I don't either.
I don't think Bud Dupree will be back because I think he's going to ask for more money just because of the decent season he's had.
He will.
Yeah. So you got Arnold Albuquerque, you got Zach Harrison got his first sack, Taquan Graham first sack. Hopefully those guys can elevate to a new position because that's what we need, y'all. A lot of these players are not going to come back. A lot of guys we may not want to bring back because we're trying to make moves. We have to sharpen this defense. We have to. I like Clark Phillips III. I believe that he can be right next to AJ Terrell and then possibly Okudah to bring him back at a lesser deal. I'm not giving you a whole bunch. I'm not throwing a boatload of money at Jeff Okudah, but I will take his services at a lesser deal.
Yeah, I give him a 2-year deal at a meager contract. And hey, take it or leave it. You know,
2 years, probably about 14, 15 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, can't do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I see right here, man, Facebook user says something that we can all agree on. Keep Nate
they
undrafted,
give him a contract.
Undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, coming in balling better than some of the first rounders and second rounders. He coming in, man, that man is all over the place. And I actually feel like, going back to you, Smitty, that what happened to Troy Anderson, blessing in disguise, because Troy would have been getting those snaps. Yeah. Troy would have been getting them snaps, and we wouldn't see exactly what Nate had. We probably only have sample sizes. But now we know that Nate is a baller. And I believe he's aided in Caden Ellis having such a great season as well. It's so great. It's almost like back when we first got Debo and had DeAndre. And
Devontae Campbell.
Devontae Campbell. And those two complemented each other well. I don't have to worry because I know he got his job. He didn't got to worry because I know I got my job. And let's go ahead and play football. That's how I feel like those two play. Or at least, you know, we still need some more depth at linebacker, of course. but those two played their heart out week in and week out. And something that was said on this Sunday, and I want to get you guys' opinion on it. Richie Grant. I seen somebody said Richie Grant should try linebacker.
Ooh, boy.
I don't know if he's physical enough to play linebacker.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think he's big enough either.
His body type not built like a linebacker.
No, it
He's
ain't. Tall and lanky.
He's barely a safety.
Right.
He's really an oversized cornerback. I've noticed that from the jump. And like I said, man, they passed on guys like Devon Holland in Miami, who's probably a top 3 safety. It was another guy in the draft too at the same time. I think he's a top 3 safety, top 10 safety as well. So they reached for Richard Grant, and they were looking at numbers and analytics when they made that pick, and it hasn't panned out at all.
Right.
Yeah. Plus linebackers, you gotta like the hit. You gotta like contact. I don't get the idea that Richard like contact.
No.
Whenever you see it, honestly, I feel like some of those angles he take is business decisions.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man, AJ will be a better linebacker than Richard Grant.
That's fast because he like getting in there.
AJ don't mind hitting.
A better linebacker.
AJ aggressive.
Yeah, Helms would be a better linebacker. Shoot, Jesse would be a better linebacker, even though I don't need those two at those positions, but we just talking. Like,
whomever is the defensive coordinator next year, you have to think about putting Troy Anderson as an edge rusher. You got to. That's who it is, Tony Lambert. Trevon Moehrig. That's who I'm talking about. He was a 2nd round pick as well.
Right.
So he's with the Raiders, I think. So he was there too, and they took Richard Grant over both of those guys.
Right, bro. And I just don't get it. I didn't get it. I wanted was it Petrie? Petrie,
yeah.
He's with
Houston.
Yeah, I wanted him.
I watched him at Baylor. He destroyed Oklahoma single-handedly.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like I want difference makers, y'all. I want dogs. That's why I like Clark Phillips, because he has that dog in him, and he know he's undersized, but he's not using that to an excuse. Yeah. He's using that really to an advantage, to use it as fuel.
But that starts in the front office. That type mentality starts in the front office. If you have that type of front office that knows what you need to win football games, that's where it starts. All this business type atmosphere, it just doesn't play well in the NFL.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah.
You got to want to get your hand dirty. You got to want to kick some mud. You got to want to do something, man. And I just don't see it here.
Yeah. What do y'all think about, like I said, going back to that draft pick, though, man? Just the first rounder. I just don't know if I can trust us to hit. I would rather go get veterans if I can. If we can trade for them, like the Brian Burns in the world, or signing a Josh Allen from Jacksonville, because he's coming up in the free agency this year. As far as getting a pass rusher, you need to address that pass rush. You need to, because we just getting covered sacks.
Yeah, they're going to eventually have to, because like you say, in all probability, Bud Dupree won't be coming back, so they got to figure something out in regards to free agency. If they go quarterback first round, don't be surprised that they go free agency, pass rusher, and also 2nd round pass rusher. But they got to figure it out. They got to do something in the offseason.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me go back up the chat and go to Kenderson. He had a question. I've dealt with this already. So I'm going to just go on and say it, man. Nope, you got to go up a little bit further. Oh, no, it's right next to the gentleman's journal.
Oh, okay.
How can y'all say? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, how can y'all say that Arthur Smith is a bad coach? He's a bad coach. But anyway, what were realistically expectations y'all had this year? Pitts and Tyler, both rookies, over 1,000. He unleashed CP. He had us in games with no big names. Okay, so what's the problem now? You got more
that's the problem. You got more about us being in games with those 2nd, 3rd string players. If you upgrade your team at every single level, doesn't that mean you're supposed to get better? You're supposed to be a playoff team, and you won 7 games last year with backups. So You mean to tell me we don't supposed to have expectations after 3 years? In your going into your third year, your plan should be in place. And you should be filling spots on your roster with players that fit your scheme. How many players that he's brought in that fits his scheme this year? And I ain't talking about defense, I'm talking about offense.
Offense, yeah.
Bijan Robinson, he drafted him. Mac Hollins, to me, has been a bust. And that's only because he hadn't had anyone to get him the football.
Right.
So
bad quarterback play.
This basically goes back to the quarterback. And it's just no way around it. It goes back to play calling, it goes back to quarterback play, and it goes to clock management. Because a couple of games that the Falcons lost this year, they were actually in front, and they left too much time on the clock.
Thank you.
And ended up losing the game in the end. And one of those games were Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And you look at Carolina shouldn't even been in the game. You turn the ball over in the red zone. So, I mean, it's just bad coaching. I mean, I'm gonna have expectations every year. I don't know about y'all, but I have expectations every year, no matter who's on the team. Mm-hmm. But if I see trash, I'm gonna call it out. Just as simple as that. So he unleashed CP, but CP 31 years old, 32, somewhere in there. So he really hadn't did much after that.
Yeah, that's facts, man. That's facts. I mean, we give him his credit for things that he did do, but it's so much that you're not executing on, so much that you didn't do. So it's just your bad outweighs your good sometimes. He has had good moments. Your bad is outweighing your good, and that's what it is, y'all.
Let me add on to that also. My realistic expectations were to get in the playoffs. Was I expecting to go to the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl? Absolutely not. But I did anticipate us getting into the playoffs this year, which may or may not happen in all likelihood right now, being honest. It might not happen. But this is where we're at as a franchise. First 2 years, I think all of us fans giving everybody a pass. Head coach pass, general manager pass. Once it got to year 3, and you have had 3 consecutive top NFL draft picks to build that roster, along with the second and third round being at the top of the drafts as well. And now you come into this season, and you got like almost $80 million worth of salary to spend in free agency. So you look at that, and then you have one of the easiest schedules that I can recall in my lifetime. And not only was the schedule purposely easy for you, you ended up Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. You end up playing a lot of backup quarterbacks. The NFL give you a schedule of most of your home games at the beginning of the season. So they're trying to give you a head start. Hey, okay, get your momentum going quick, Atlanta. We kind of want y'all in the playoffs because y'all ain't been in so long. So let us help you up. Yeah, we're going to try. And then also, the backbreaker was the personnel decision with Desmond Ridder. When you have switched your quarterback and nobody's legitimately hurt, they can play that concussion game all they want to. But when you have to bench Desmond Ridder, go back to him, bench him again because you thought as a head coach you were making the right decision to bring him in as a quarterback, and he didn't show you nothing his rookie year that should have convinced you as a coaching staff that he could do the job. You hand him the keys to the car. He wrecked the car, and you really ain't got no plan B. You ain't got rental insurance on your insurance or nothing. So now you just
liable.
Yeah, you just liable. You ain't got car rental coverage or nothing. So now you just out here walking, and now you're sitting here at 6-8. Your fan base looking at you crazy. The local media done start looking at you crazy. The national media been looking at you crazy. That's all bad coaching. I mean, you can't give a coach 5 years to get it right. This is the NFL, not for long. What have you done for me lately? You don't get 4 and 5 years to finally get a win this season. Hey, he got to go, man. He got to go.
Hey, and to be honest, man, I'm going to pick it back off what you said. If you look at it, the contract that we gave out in the mid 2010s to the late 2010s to Deion Jones, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan, you could have prevented that because when you reached your peak and your ceiling in the Super Bowl, you should have been looking for a replacement quarterback at that time. You go 2017, you go, I think 11-5 they went. Go to Philadelphia, a game you should have won. But guess what? You didn't keep the offensive coordinator. I think you make him the highest paid coordinator in football, he stays. But don't get me wrong, because a lot of coaches want their own team. But he was in the perfect situation with an MVP quarterback, and you let him and Matt LaFleur walk out the door. From that point on, your offense went downhill and was never the same. So what should you have done? 2017, we missed the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson was on the board, and you should have went up the board and got him. But what do you do? Go get Pat McKinnon. He ain't even in the NFL no more.
I'm trying to tell you. And I ain't gonna lie, he had such a great hype video. I'm doing this for my grandma. I was like, yeah, let's get it, Granny.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. I'm all for stuff like that.
Hype can tell all. But if you look at his background, he's always had mental issues. He had a knee injury and a shoulder injury coming out of college into the NFL. That was a red flag right there. Then TJ Watt was right there. He's one of the best defensive players in the league right now.
Yeah.
So you don't pay Matt Ryan. You go out and get one of the young quarterbacks. And let's say Julio Jones, you don't get him that 3-year, $66 million deal. Go out and get somebody that you know that can come in and at least catch the ball. He was hurt a lot the last year and a half here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've just wasted money and wasted time the last 6 years. So it's just time for a change. And there's no way around it, man. And I hope Arthur Blank looking at this, because in a minute, every fan gonna have the right to point the finger at you.
I'm trying to tell you, and it's already getting pointed at you. So I'm just saying, y'all, it's already getting pointed about decisions that you're making. This is your team, yes, but you think about it, this is our team just as much as it's yours, because we spend our money. We buy the season tickets, we buy the single tickets, we buy the gear. And I'm just saying, we want a winning product. Atlanta fans want a winning product. That's it.
Crazy thing is,
people can say what they want. Oh, Atlanta fans this, Atlanta fans that. Bro, we just tired of losing. We want a winning product, and we not wrong for feeling like that.
Right.
We not. And right now, the Atlanta Falcons, over the 5, possibly 6 seasons, have not given us a winning product for whatever reason.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I really just hope the direction of this franchise shapes up, because right now we're a debacle. Everything, it's a debacle. The losses, but we shouldn't lose. We got 5 or 6 games on our schedule right now that we had no business losing. None. But instead, we got those extra 5 losses, which is why we have 8 losses.
And like I said, man, with Sam Howell, now he's on the bench now. But when he was playing, that was a perfect example as to why the coaching was bad. Because Sam Howell was in a totally different offense last year. Totally different. Bringing Airbnb coaches him up to get him up to speed. And he's had a pretty decent season. And what has Desmond really done? 10 touchdowns in 13 games.
10 interceptions, 5 fumbles.
Yeah,
it just
and it's funny. See, this how long everybody I rock with. This how long we've been rocking together. Tiny brought that point up last year. He said, "You okay with 2 touchdown passes in 4 games? What does that equal up to next year if you play a full 17 games? That's about 15 touchdown passes." So he's right at where he's supposed to be.
He's right there. He was right there. He was at 10. I mean, the only way he gets 15 is if something happens to Taylor Heineke. I think at this point, that's the only way he gets back in. It would have to be an injury, because even if Taylor gets in there and stinks it up,
Logan Woodside would get that last start. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
I just say, I just take it. If we don't win the next game, I would just start Logan Woodside the last 2 games, say hell with it, pack up my locker, get the hell on.
Yep, and that's what they're gonna do. Real. Both of those quarterbacks will have to get hurt for Ritter to come back in, man. It's like it's over for him this year. And it's funny y'all bring up the touchdowns. Yeah, you're probably right. I know Vegas, they set the line for really the beginning of the season at 15 touchdowns. And, you know, as fans, we thought it was crazy, but Vegas wins again.
Vegas wins.
Man.
Vegas be having the inside scoop, man. They be having
And I said 20, and I was way over.
Right, man. Shoot, I was the one that was going crazy. Remember, I said like 37 touchdowns.
Oh man,
The
you
hell
had a
was
lot
I
of
saying?
faith. You had a lot of faith.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was
you
drinking good Kool-Aid. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, you playing too much Madden. That's what
One
that
thing
is.
about it, hey man, one thing about it, I'm man enough to admit my mistakes, and that was
That's
definitely
right.
one of them.
Oh yeah.
That was definitely one of them. Like for real.
Proven said Grady might leave. I wouldn't doubt it. And to be honest, they cut Tyler Grady Jarrett. That's more cap space.
Yeah.
And
Oh man,
he's 31 years old, and shit, he deserves to win a ring.
Yeah, and he
He
coming off
does.
a major
He does.
injury too.
I mean, he said in an interview that he's kind of ahead of schedule, but I mean, still, you could possibly take that money. You can probably cut Grady, take that money, and go somewhere else. It's a possibility, you know, because we definitely need it. Dr. Ganja crazy. Desmond Cole on Madden too.
Yeah, he cold on Madden too. I think he was 69 if I ain't mistaken.
Oh man,
Real.
He get an F on there too.
see what I'm saying? Not even a passing grade. That's crazy, y'all. He said, yeah, I did, Gentleman's Journal. I did. Again, I said I was wrong. I was wrong as heck. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he didn't jump off the porch. He jumped off the roof.
Oh,
Boy,
man,
oof.
I'm talking about off the roof, and it was raining, so my feet really wasn't all the way good when I landed on the ground.
Yeah, you damn sure slipped and bumped your head. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't slip. I slip. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm man enough to admit mine when I'm wrong, and I was completely wrong. I was hoping
Ralph said he
that's
was
me.
71, so Ralph said he was 71, but that damn show gonna go down.
Oh, it's definitely on when shoot, man. It'll be down in a minute. Especially you getting benched and stuff, man. It's gonna be down in a minute. So
that's why I wasn't mad when people were saying Arthur Smith playbook remind them of Tecmo Bowl, because when you call the same play and it's predictable, they bust the line, and guess what? You're gonna get thrown up. So I agree with that. Hold that.
Yeah, man.
Now
he
just stubborn. He just
looking
stubborn.
at like the Grady Jarrett information that we were just talking about. If they cut him or trade him pre-June, it's a $12 million cap savings, and it's only an $8 million cap hit. And you know, his contract does expire in 2025, so he only has 2 more years on the contract. So he might be at that point where it's time to bid farewell, you know, to the great Grady Jarrett.
Man,
yeah, that's why you don't fall in love with players. That's
exactly. Can you just imagine no Grady lining up, no 97 out there? Can y'all just really imagine? It's like he's just been a staple for.
It's a business at the end of the day, as we always
it's definitely
say.
a business. We know that just because we lost Dion and other players, man. It's definitely a business. And if you ain't paying, somebody is.
Right.
Somebody is. Yeah, man. Fellas, I really want to thank you guys for coming in and having this conversation with me. Always great. And having a conversation with, of course, Smitty and, you know, some Tidy of Atlanta Bird Gang. Fellas, please, starting with Tidy, man, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me at Atlanta Bird Gang here on YouTube, and also Facebook group Atlanta Bird Gang as well. And also, Tip, thank you for bringing me on, man. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. Same for you as well, Smith. I enjoyed the fellowship and a little bit of therapy talking about this team.
Indeed, man. It's needed. It's needed, man. We going through some troubled times, man. Hard times right here. We need to stick together.
Right.
Stick together. What about you, Smitty? They already know what's going on.
Yeah, y'all know where to find me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube, at FatBoySlim_21 on Twitter. And if y'all been looking for me on Facebook, my page got locked up, so I got to go get it back. And but I'm gonna do that soon. And hey, it's time to win. And tonight we're gonna give y'all the Colts Falcons preview with Eb. And if y'all know her, y'all know her on the Twitter Spaces. She does her thing with that, so we're gonna welcome her tonight to talk Falcons Colts. And trust me, she knows her football, so y'all better bring them questions because she knows her thing about football. Because when we were at training camp, she was calling out the plays before they ran the plays. Why they got 23 zones in the box and shit like that? She knows her stuff. So y'all tune in tonight at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. live on Smitty Sports Machine, A1 Forever, and 95 North Falcons Talk Show, all in one. So go to either one of those pages, click on the video, and you will see it. Turn on the notifications because we're going to rock it out tonight, man. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Atlanta Bird Gang. Subscribe to Smitty Sports Machine, 95 North Falcons Talk Show, and, of course, A1 Forever, where we be the generational because it's always time to be, and we don't settle for less because you can always have more with the vision. I'd like to thank these fellas again for coming up here and having this topic, talking about to QB or not QB, and that is really the question, and there's still going to be a lot of questions being answered week to week as guys, we don't have a quarterback. So we're going to see what goes forward. We just don't. Let's just go ahead and just quit the mirage.
I said the hell with it. Put Bijan at quarterback and run the Wildcat.
Run the veer option.
Yeah, right. Between him and Algiers, right? Just like forget it. Just make something happen. But yeah, guys, man. Thank you to everyone. Peace and blessings to you all. For Tidy Jones, for Antoine Smitty Smith, and Chris Tip Moore, we will holler.
Peace.
Next time, y'all.
Out of here.